Awesome. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courteney Jacobazzi. You might have noticed it's a little gloomy out there today, a little bit on the wet side, and unfortunately that pattern is going to continue for a lot of this week. I know a couple of weeks ago I had a lot of people asking, when are we going to see the sun? When are we going to see the sun? And I think this week is going to be pretty similar. It is going to be a gloomy January week, but thankfully it's not going to be super cold. So I guess that's the silver lining. It's not going to be really chilly rain. It'll be pretty mild over the next couple days. We're going to talk about why, and of course time out all the rain and look ahead to the weekend, because it's never too soon to do that. We have a handful of first alerts to talk about because of widespread rain. So again, just so you know, that first alert is when we know you're going to know. Of course, we give you that early heads up so you can know how to plan your week, plan your commute, all of the above. We're going to get right into it. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Of course, also let me know where you're watching from. Always nice to know where everyone is tuning in, for those of you who are joining us on places like Facebook who are able to give us a nice comment. So let's take you to First Alert radar. Yeah, it's pretty soggy out there. We have this stream of light to moderate rain. We haven't seen any heavy rain this morning. We actually have some drier air in the mid-levels, and essentially what happens is as rain falls from high up in the sky, it falls through that area of drier air and evaporates slightly. So we haven't been able to have any kind of heavy downpour. All of our rain has been light to just kind of steady through the day, but still going to cause some issues on the roadways. Right now, a lot of the rain is pretty much concentrated from I-20 northward. We have this nice band of rain that's just kind of sitting over the metro. So pretty much all of those of you who live inside the perimeter dealing with some rain. It looks like up towards Cherokee County, Cobb County, Carroll County, all the way into Clark County near Athens, Gwinnett County, all getting in on this rain right now, and this will continue through the next couple of hours. Essentially what's happening is a cold front is moving through the area. It's all a part of this larger weather system that's bringing winter weather to parts of the Northeast, but notice off the coast, you see that little red line? That is a warm front. So we're under the influence of that warm front. We also have an area of high pressure to our south. So if any of you for some reason have vacation this week and you're just extending your MLK weekend holiday and you're traveling down to Florida, you're going to deal with dry weather because there's an area of high pressure down to our south. But what that's doing is something important as well. Not only are we under the influence of that warm front, but we also have wind coming out of the southwest around an area of high pressure. Wind rotates clockwise, and so ultimately that is influencing our wind direction. And when wind comes out of the southwest, that puts our forecast under the influence of the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico, a very warm body of water, of course, water, a more moisture-rich atmosphere than the dry land to our north. So you put the things together, we're going to be warmer today. We're going to have plenty of moisture to not only build cloud cover, but allow that cold front to produce rain showers through the day today. Overall, it's going to be a pretty warm and unsettled afternoon. But as we head into the evening hours, we will start to dry out through the day today. So here's a look at that 24-hour temperature change. Finally starting to see some of those numbers go into the negative. Earlier today, we were seeing 22 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. And that is thanks to that southwest wind, that cloud cover kind of trapped in all the heat from yesterday. We topped out in the low 60s yesterday, but now we're starting to see some of that rain cooled air, but a lot of us still well warmer than normal. Or than we were yesterday, I should say. Temperatures generally in the upper 40s to mid 50s. In Atlanta, we're at 56, 54 in Dallas, 51 in Monroe, 53 in Rome, and 56 in Locust Grove. This, of course, just after 11 a.m. when we are taping this. Overall, it is going to be a nice and mild afternoon today. We'll have temperatures climb into the low 60s, and it'll be rainy throughout the afternoon. Sorry, I was getting distracted. I think I was seeing... Oh, good. Okay, Facebook is streaming. I thought Facebook wasn't streaming for a second. Never mind, Maria. I do not need to call for help. Okay, so let's get back on track. So as we go through the day today, we are going to have on and off showers that will end up coming to an end as we head into the evening. So for your morning commute this morning, when all of you are headed to work, you probably dealt with a pretty messy situation. It probably looked like this here in Marietta, where it's just soggy and damp and the roads were wet. That won't be the case for your ride home. Maybe a few spotty showers, but by and large, we're going to be dry. Now, of course, again, we still have a lot of moisture getting pulled in from the southwest. So what that moisture is going to do is as we start to cool off in the overnight hours, it's going to condense near the surface and create fog. So we do have a first alert for tomorrow morning because of that chance for patchy morning fog could be dense in some spots, so we'll be watching out for that. But just a heads up for those of you headed out the door, that's why we give you those first alerts, so you can know well ahead of time, and we know you're going to know. There could be some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Right now, we're not hearing any talks of any kind of dense fog advisory or anything, but if that does happen, we will let you know that as well. But in the meantime, just expect a cloudy and fairly mild start to tomorrow morning. We could have a few showers roll in from the south. Again, our wind's coming out of the southwest, so that's going to steer our rain for tomorrow. Just spotty showers for your Wednesday evening, and that's all going to be ahead of a cold front. Now, this cold front is going to bring a severe weather threat to our west. It is not looking like it's going to bring us any severe weather, which is good news. Our atmosphere, our dynamics out ahead of this front just don't look prime for any kind of severe thunderstorms. Maybe a rumble of thunder is possible, but for the most part, we're just going to deal with rain. So Thursday is another first alert because it does look like it's going to be a pretty wet commute on Thursday morning, especially for those of you who commute between 7 and 9 a.m. So as you're taking the kids to school, they're getting on the bus stop, you want to be sure that they have the umbrella with them. As you're heading to work, just give yourself some extra time. By lunchtime, though, we start to dry out and sunshine finally returns. So after a few dreary days, yesterday was nice, but today and tomorrow are going to be, and the first half of Thursday are going to be pretty dismal. Sunshine will return by the commute home on Thursday, so it'll be really nice, a little bit breezy, really comfortable. So overall, Thursday will end up being a nice day after a little bit of a dreary start to your morning. So Friday's dry, but we do bring back rain chances through the weekend, maybe just a spotty shower Saturday. Sunday, we do have a first alert for widespread rain. Now the timing and the intensity of the rain still needs to be determined, but we do know at some point on Sunday we will have widespread rain. So if you have any plans that you want to make outdoors, Saturday definitely the day to do that. Sunday's going to be one of those days where you'll probably just want to kind of have a lazy day and watch movies all day, the perfect kind of Sunday, right? We like when it rains on Sunday, not when it rains the entire weekend. At least we'll get one good day out of the weekend. We'll have Saturday and of course Friday as well. So here's a look at the GFS model. The GFS model thinks we'll have some heavier rain. It also favors the morning a little bit more for that widespread rain time frame. The European model, which actually has done really well with some of our past weather systems, thinks the rain is going to be a little bit lighter potentially and brings the most widespread rain in during the evening. So that would give you a good first half of your Sunday. So there's still some discrepancy when it comes to the timing and how much rain, how heavy the rain is going to be. So we still have a little bit of figuring out to do when it comes to the timing and intensity of the rain on Sunday. But what we do know is that Sunday at some point looks very rainy. So that is a first alert. So we are going to let you know if you have any plans that you're trying to make for the weekend. Never too early to start thinking about the weekend. Saturday is the day to do that until we can get a better handle on the timing. Because of course, you want to run your errands on Sunday, maybe you're going to church on Sunday morning. If the European model plays out, then you'll look pretty good for Sunday morning. But we'll see how that plays out as we go through the week. Just know that widespread rain does return for Sunday. So here's a look at your forecast for the next 7 days. The temperature is going to stay mild, mid to upper 60s, with the exception of today, we'll be in the low 60s. Friday looks really nice. Of course, Thursday, remember those skies will start to clear in the second half of the day, and then we'll be left with a good bit of sunshine Friday. Clouds will rebuild on Saturday with that small rain chance, but for the most part, Saturday is dry. Sunday, we have that first alert for widespread rain that returns to the forecast. It's just the timing of that rain that we don't know yet, but we'll be working on that as models get a better handle on the timing of this next weather system that moves through. Then we'll get a better handle on how you can plan around that for the end of the weekend. And as we kick off next week, we will be cooler. So that rain on Thursday is all thanks to, again, a cold front. So that will cool us down back into more seasonable weather. We are supposed to be in the 50s this time of year, the low 50s. So we'll go back into the 50s and we'll stay in the 50s even into the start of next week. Looking at our overnight low temperatures, the next few days we're going to be really mild in the mornings, 50s near 60s, so you won't need the winter coat. You'll definitely need the raincoat, but notice on Saturday morning, that's the coldest air we can find. Is we'll wake up in the mid to upper 30s on Saturday. So Saturday morning, if you're headed out early, you are going to need to bring that coat back out, but by the afternoon, you'll just need a light jacket. So overall, a pretty dreary and unsettled looking forecast. We can look at the Climate Prediction Center. They give us 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day temperature and precipitation outlooks. And it does look like we are going to stay unseasonably unsettled, so quite rainy, all the way into the end of January. January is one of the wetter months for us. We need the rain leading into the warmer spring months when we start to grow all of the crops across Georgia, our many crops that we do have here. So we could use the rain. It's always good to have a nice and saturated soil for all the crops when we eventually do start to grow them. But of course, that growing season right now has come to an end. We aren't necessarily right now worried about any kind of flash flooding. We'll be watching that, especially if Sunday's rain gets particularly heavy or slows down, starts to train. Right now, we're not necessarily concerned about that. Just a little too soon to talk about that kind of concern. But in the meantime, it's going to be mild. It's going to be a little dreary. Sunshine does return, though. Let's talk about the silver lining. Thursday afternoon, your ride home from work on Thursday is going to be stunning. We'll see a lot of sunshine. It'll probably be a beautiful sunset on Thursday night. We'll stay dry Friday and mainly dry Saturday, but Sunday that rain returns. So keep that umbrella tucked away in your car. You're going to need it for sure as we head really, it seems like, into the end of January as weather systems just kind of constantly roll through, which is normal for this time of year. January is one of the wetter months here in Georgia. All right, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay dry. Again, that rain today should start to taper off by around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we'll be mainly dry through the evening. Look out for some patchy fog tomorrow morning, so be careful on the roadways today and tomorrow and all the other days where the rain is going to roll through, which is a handful, and we'll catch you guys here next time.